Hi there. Today's presentation is a part of a larger series. You can find the other videos by clicking on my name below and to the left and searching for the Thought Vigilance playlist. In case this is the first time you've seen me, I am covering the practical aspects of a practice that I swear, because I've done it myself, improves your mental and emotional health significantly. Now, one of the most quantum quotes that I often refer to is Franklin Delano Roosevelt's famous quote, "There is nothing to fear but fear itself." The way I interpret this is that we only have to fear our propensity for thinking fearful thoughts. And since I know it to be true, and also that it's true that we all have the power to make certain kinds of thoughts go extinct in us, we have complete control over that which we fear. I'm going to dive into the spiritual side of things today because this is such a central issue to spiritual awakening. According to A Course in Miracles, every fearful thought you entertain will visit you in form at some point. Not to punish you for thinking it, but to give you what you wanted, which was to be punished for thinking it. A Course in Miracles also says that love and fear are the only two emotions, although only one of the two is factually true. Of all the thoughts we want to do away with, fear thoughts are the most prescient, and so I may be giving these a little more time today than usual. See if I can hold your attention. Here's a quote from the Course. "Fear and love are the only emotions of which you are capable. One is false, for it was made out of denial, and denial depends on the real belief in what is denied for its own existence. By interpreting fear correctly as a positive affirmation of the underlying belief it masks, you are undermining its perceived usefulness by rendering it useless. Defenses, which do not work at all, are automatically discarded. If you raise what fear conceals to clear-cut, unequivocal predominance, fear becomes meaningless. You have denied its power to conceal love, which was its only purpose. The mask which you have drawn across the face of love has disappeared." End quote. Fear conceals a lot. It conceals all the unworthiness and guilt that we feel. We keep all that in the unconscious mind, and then we project it out, and unwittingly we create the vision of a fearful world. Fear is tangled up in all of the other sorts of thoughts that we are working on undoing with thought vigilance. The impulse to judge is tied up with fear. We judge whether something or someone is safe or not to approach, and each time we do, we make fear real, not in reality, but in our own experience. That is why we get visited by all the fearful thoughts we think. We forget that love is the only one of the two that is factually true. It's the only thing that exists. Fear is simply the absence of love, nothing more. And because in reality, love is all-encompassing and eternal, there really isn't anything to fear. Another thing that's important to know about the mechanics of fear is that only one half of your split mind is capable of feeling fear, and that fear is basically what the ego is made of. In that sense, you could boil this lesson down to fear is the denial of everything that is true. That's the spiritual justification for undoing fear. Now just a moment for the physiological justification for trying to ward off fearful thoughts. Your cognitive functions, which include the clarity with which you see things, and your decision-making process, are hampered by fearful thoughts. We don't see things clearly or make our best decisions when feeling fearful. You become very reactive and impulsive instead, and tend to compound mistakes with more mistakes. Practicing getting rid of fearful thoughts does include recognizing that they are fearful thoughts. And since all the other categories are encompassed in fear, this suggestion applies to all of them. Register that it's a fearful thought first, and then let it disappear from your mind. You cannot stop doing what you don't realize you're doing, and only in this way will you recognize how much of the day you are thinking fearfully. If you're finding these ideas helpful, it would mean a lot if you liked and subscribed to the channel. And if you want to chat or share your thoughts, please leave a comment below. I do my best to respond to all of them. You can also find me on Substack at natekokernot and at my website, miraclereadiness.com. Thanks so much for joining me here today.